Good morning, this is Tom, Negotiating with Jesus. I always look over there. I don't know why. Sometimes I scratch my ear. That's my intro. Negotiating with Jesus, and I missed my video yesterday. So some mornings, I don't have the habit so indwelling in me that I don't have the personality that I can't miss. Some people go to the gym and they can't miss. Now, I miss my guitar practice sometimes, and I miss my my video, which is kind of a new thing. So these are, again, place markers. I'm trying to become a video presenter of thoughts. So I was doing some wisdom mining, thinking about that. What if wisdom was gold? You'd think you'd go where the gold is, and it's buried. And it's buried inside of ancient traditions, ancient philosophers, modern philosophers. It's buried, but it's mostly buried inside of old people. And there's some sense that wisdom is something that you work out, not figure out. It's a process of living life and discovering some kind of deeper foundational things. And old people have gone through a lot of nonsense, and they theoretically cling to the good things. Wisdom mining and idea trading cards. So in this little corner, we're playing almost like a Pokemon game or that other Japanese card game where you have these battle cards and you're throwing cards in, or maybe you're collecting ideas, and someone brings up an idea and you say, oh, I already have that idea. I'm not looking for that idea. I'm looking for something better than that, something that can beat that. So idea trading cards. So whatever that is, it'll be my kind of branding thing, or things that I will say, and maybe it'll be my thing. I'm not like grim at all. So, but yesterday, the video today is going to be what I said yesterday. So yesterday, we're entering Holy Week. So this week is the week that people who follow Jesus, Christians, little Christ, carrying a little cross, following Jesus a little. They're a little Jesus, just like maybe you have a little Italian in you. If you've encountered Jesus, if you've brushed against him, probably something got on you. So you're a little bit Jesus. Like, I'm feeling a little sick. I'm feeling a little healthy. I brushed up against Jesus and I'm feeling a little cured. Not a lot, mind you, because there's some problems. There's some deep things that Jesus needs to rip off like scales on a dragon. So yesterday I'm talking, and it's Palm Sunday that Jesus comes in, and I was using Psalms, and the Psalms are these songs and poems of David, King David, the king whose covenant, God gives this covenant and says, you, the line of David, your kingdom will last forever. From you will come this Messiah figure, and this is going to be a king that will never be removed from the throne. Now, Israel had all these kings that were removed from the throne all the time. They couldn't make a lasting kingdom. They could only dream that God's words were true. What if it was true and Israel had a king that reigned forever? So they go on, and eventually are kind of forgotten. They're just some nothing nation. And then Jesus is born into a nothing nation with no power, just anger and hopes, and a failed history. And Jesus comes in and says, surprise, I'm the one you've been waiting for. I'm the cornerstone that you can build from the very ground up and scales into eternity. Jesus, the Word made flesh, all these ideas. But my point was that as he goes in and hosannas, And then I talked about the Psalms and all the prophecy. David wrote things that Jesus acted out. And it's very peculiar that Jesus is looking at their scripture, which is all the Old Testament, and every time he sees something that can be acted out, he does it. He acts it out, and it's fulfilled prophecy. And it's very strange. It's very strange. And Jesus is intentionally acting out and fulfilling these words, and it's crazy. So he comes into Jerusalem. Everyone's shouting, Hosanna, save us. Please save us, rescue us. And Jesus, in Matthew 21, does all these things. And he talks about that the cornerstone. He talks about riding in on a colt, these prophetic words, a cornerstone that the builders rejected. So Israel has built a religion from the ground up, following God's command. They did it. And they are skilled in some way. They're a very unique culture, very skilled at building a complex and seemingly at least interesting, if not good, religion and culture and identity. And then Jesus says, yeah, but think about your history. You kill the prophets. You're not really interested in building, and you haven't blessed the world, which was the whole promise and purpose of Israel. God would use them, that everyone would have this great relationship and religion that would endure forever and would bless them, and all would be welcome, and the weak would be lifted up, and the poor would be cared for. They didn't do it. They're interested in their own power. Jesus says, I'll be the cornerstone on which you can build an eternal kingdom. And they reject him. He's the cornerstone that they could have built on. They reject him. So as we go through Holy Week, we end up on Maundy Thursday, which is Commandment Thursday, love one another. Jesus has a Last Supper, washes the feet of the disciples, says to them, now you are to be servants just like I am, and you're to love one another. This is my commandment, that you love one another. So that's the Thursday service. We have 3 special services on Holy Week. And then Good Friday, we'll have this service where it's somber, because this is the service where Jesus is taken by the authorities. He's arrested, stands trial, and is crucified. And my point, and then we'll have a Sunday morning sunrise service. My church will meet at 6:45. We'll have a little outdoor service, watch the sunrise. We have a great spot. We have this beautiful property. It's unbelievable. And then we'll watch the sunrise. We'll go in and eat some breakfast, and then we'll have a regular service at 9, Fredericksburg, PA. So I'm thinking about Good Friday and this cornerstone that's rejected by the builders, and everyone is a builder building some little kingdom. The Apostle Paul says, I built a kingdom, and now I consider it all loss. That's Philippians. Everything is lost. All of it is junk. It's garbage. I built something that, and you get to King Solomon. He's like, it's all vanity. I've built a great kingdom, and I'm going to die, and someone's going to inherit it that did nothing and cares nothing of the effort I put in, and likely will blow it. Won't continue to build a kingdom. It's like, why do people strive so hard for something they can't keep? So Paul considers it all loss. Solomon considers it all vanity. Smoke. You can't get an optimal grip on it. You can't optimally grip life. It slips from you. So the stone the builder rejected. I have my little kingdom. In some way, I reject Jesus. So Good Friday, we're looking at the cross. We're listening to Pilate. He says, look, I find nothing wrong with this Jesus. You want me to arrest him, and he's done nothing wrong. There's no way he's guilty of anything. I've talked to him. So what do you want me to do with this king of yours? And he comes up with this scheme. Look, I always release someone during the Passover just to be good to the Jews. I'll release Jesus if you want, or I can release Barabbas, who is this criminal, this terrible person. You decide. You can have a little loophole here and free Jesus. And then I'll crucify Barabbas, and he'll be a thief on the cross. Because I'm not afraid to crucify thieves. I'll do that all day long. Pilate's like, means nothing to me. I'll crucify, a dozen, 2 dozen people today. I don't care. Do you want me to release Jesus? And they shout, crucify him. Release to us Barabbas. We see the loophole. We see, thanks, Pilate. There is no king but Caesar. This is not our king. There's no king but Caesar. We understand politics. Caesar's the king. We'd like Jesus to be killed. So, making it personal. What do I do when I'm there? Because I understand vaguely what the story means, I have to say, Jesus, you're innocent, but would you go ahead and go on the cross? So Pilate would say to me, Tom, what do you got here? Hey, negotiator, I'm negotiating with you. You want me to release Jesus? I'm like, I kind of get it. Yeah, he should not go to the cross. But I have to say, crucify him. And that is where I'm stuck. I can't say, Jesus is innocent. Let him go. Then all is lost, and it's some strange thing. It is the paradox that we are all stuck in. We are stuck in a world where we have debts that will crush us. We're all dying. And the people who die rich don't have any debts that crush them. Yeah, right. They're dead. So the dilemma is, what do you do with Jesus? I say crucify him. And that is the most tragic thing that the world has ever known. And the world knows it. Crucify him. Set Barabbas free. And I, in some way, trade places with Barabbas. I'm the criminal who deserves to die. And Jesus says, how about if I die and you go free? Like, that seems unfair to you and perhaps to me. You can have what you earned, or you can have this gift. And the gift is better than what you deserve. And you're a good person. You deserve just nothing but good things. That's great. I don't. You're better than me. I deserve some kind of failure's reward. I think I'm going to die. So that's the dilemma. That's the thing I wrestled with. And I'm a very sensitive guy, so I can understand it and get weepy. I get weepy all the time. So I got weepy. I thought, what in the world? I'm stuck. Crucify him. So I did want to do another video on music. I'm going to do that And I want to mention the C, D, and G chords, but I want to add an E minor because I looked up a bunch of songs, and I'll play a couple songs with just C, D, and G. There's a bunch of them. But you throw an E minor in there, and there's a lot more songs that throw in an E minor. So E minor and A minor today, we'll look at those. So practice C's, D's, and G's. Think about Holy Week. What do you want to do with Jesus? Crucify him. I will talk to you later.